The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that the series of events surrounding Finn and Steffi is entering a climax, with shocking developments occurring one after another, threatening to completely destroy their seemingly stable marriage. Below is a longer, more detailed and dramatic account, analyzing each detail in the clearest way possible so that readers have a comprehensive view of what is happening. The story begins when Finn realizes the existential danger. He may lose Steffi, the woman he loves with all his heart, and the small family he has always cherished. The mistakes of the past, which he has carefully buried, are now rising and threatening their happiness. Filled with remorse, Finn understands that it is time for him to face the truth and ask for Steffi's forgiveness. Finn chooses to go to Steffi to clarify everything, hoping that she can understand and forgive. In that tense moment, he wished Steffi loved him enough to open her heart to his confession. Finn looked into his wife's eyes, seeing the hurt and the rift that was slowly forming, but he still tried to hold on with urgent words. He poured out his heart, explaining why he had made the mistake he regretted so much. Even though Finn had sincerely apologized, Steffi could not forgive easily. She was both shocked and angry with herself for trusting her husband so much. She gave Finn a cold look, questioning him about the real reason behind that mistake, as well as why he had only confessed now. Her heartache, which had not had time to heal, was now deepened when she learned the shocking secret involving her scheming aunt and a dangerous woman named Luna. The way Steffi looked at Finn at this moment was not only painful, but also filled with uncertainty, doubting how much of what he said was true. Just when Finn thought things could calm down, Steffi suddenly showed him solid evidence that made him speechless. The test paper that he had accidentally left behind had unintentionally given Steffi the answer. Finn realized that his chances of being forgiven were slimmer, and he began to understand that his family's happiness could fall apart right before his eyes. The focus of the story stems from the important test paper that Finn accidentally left on the desk. For Steffi, this evidence is more valuable than any words because it confirms part of the truth she has long suspected. After accidentally seeing the paper, Steffi quickly realized Finn's connection with another woman. What shocked her the most was the name of her aunt, a person she did not trust. All the parameters in the test paper indicated that Finn had a special relationship with this aunt. But the most terrifying was the existence of Luna, who Steffi believed was the product of that sinful love affair. Luna is a name that confuses Steffi, a girl with a dark past, rumored to be a murderer who has caused serious incidents. There is even information that Luna has been involved in violent acts or is related to unsolved murders. The image of a dangerous girl always lurking in the dark makes Steffi shiver. She could not have imagined that the husband she once trusted would have a relationship that led to the appearance of such a notorious villain. Steffi feels betrayed and sees danger for herself and her young son Hayes. Finn's explanation, no matter how sincere, cannot erase what the test results reveal. She keeps asking, who is Finn really? Is there anything else he is hiding? Steffi's mind falls into a spiral of confusion, hesitating between continuing to give Finn a chance or ending it all. When mentioning Luna, people immediately think of a series of creepy rumors about her. In this town, anyone involved in violent acts is scrutinized and shunned. The information Steffi gathered showed that Luna seemed to have caused the death of at least one or several people, or at least was involved in serious incidents. Although there was no official evidence from the police, rumors and suspicious traces surrounding Luna's life still made her a formidable villain. Some people said she lived by calculations, always trying to manipulate others. There were also rumors that she had cooperated with criminal organizations, ready to commit brutal acts. The prospect of a murderer lurking somewhere, related by blood to Finn, made Steffi shiver. As a mother, the only thing Steffi could think of at the moment was to protect baby Hayes. She didn't know if Luna intended to approach Hayes, but the idea alone was enough to keep Steffi awake. In Steffi's mind, Finn had become more unpredictable than ever because he had hidden his relationship with Luna all this time. Steffi had always trusted Finn completely. Now everything was broken. She felt like she was the victim of a trick played on her by her husband. Every reassuring word, every happy smile, turned out to be just a cover for a terrible secret. Is Finn hiding something? This question haunted Steffi endlessly. As her fear and frustration reached its peak, Steffi knew she couldn't sit still and wait for worse to happen. Her maternal instinct made her act immediately. Steffi decided to take Hayes out of town as soon as possible. In her mind, staying with Finn and his threatening relationships was only risking her son's life. She thought of Paris, where she had beautiful memories and where she could temporarily escape from all the storms. Paris is a safe haven for Steffi, a place for her to breathe fresh air, find peace, and bury the pain of the past. Steffi's determination to leave also shows how bad her marriage is. From being a woman who always values family, always tries to understand and forgive, Steffi now realizes that she has no other choice. The man she entrusted her life to is attached to dangerous people, making everything unclear and uncertain. Steffi's decision will surely surprise many people. Maybe other family members, friends, or even colleagues will ask why she has to run away. But Steffi knows that if she is not decisive, she can lose more things, even her son's life. Hayes' safety comes first, and that is why Steffi does not hesitate. To be more decisive in her decision, Steffi immediately contacted her personal lawyer, asking to prepare a divorce petition with Finn. This action was like a firm declaration about her future. There would be no more Finn and Steffi like before. Steffi chose not to meet in person to discuss or argue with Finn. She was afraid that the remaining emotions would soften her heart, creating an opportunity for his justifications. A divorce petition sent through a lawyer would help her minimize contact and at the same time show that she had thought very carefully about this. A strong woman, once she had suffered enough, would be ready to use actions to affirm her position. In the midst of everything being in chaos, Steffi still had a little hope in her heart that, when she went to Paris, she could ease her pain. Maybe in a faraway place, Steffi would be calmer and find joy with her son again. When she arrived in Paris, she also intended to give herself time to think about whether divorcing Finn was the only way. Unfortunately, before the trip could begin, Steffi encountered a terrible incident. On the way to the airport, a car lost control and crashed straight into her car, causing an extremely serious head-on collision. All plans and intentions for the future, including leaving here safely with Hayes, collapsed in an instant. The accident happened in the blink of an eye, leaving a devastated scene. The sound of screaming, the sound of an ambulance siren, everything was like a terrifying scene that Steffi never wanted to appear in. Steffi suffered a head injury, a broken leg, and fell into a very critical condition. The strong impact caused her head to hit the steering wheel, causing her to lose consciousness on the spot. According to witnesses, blood soaked the car seat, and Steffi was almost unresponsive during that painful moment. For those around her, the scene was not only haunting in terms of image, but also sowed the fear that she might not survive. Hayes' injuries were even more heartbreaking for those around her. She had just begun her innocent life, but unexpectedly was caught up in a terrible accident. Doctors diagnosed that Hayes' brain had suffered a severe concussion, leading to a deep coma. The child's ability to recover was still uncertain. This was too much of a shock for Steffi, a mother who was willing to do everything to protect her child, but was helpless before the cruel joke of fate. People often say that there is no greater pain than seeing your child in danger. Although Steffi was in critical condition, perhaps the thing she was most concerned about, if she could wake up, was Hayes' condition. She could overcome this incident, but what about Hayes? That thought made Steffi's heart suffocate more than any physical injury. As soon as he heard the news of Steffi and Hayes' accident, Finn was petrified. All the secrets, conflicts, and disagreements between him and Steffi suddenly became meaningless. All he could think about was how to keep his wife and son safe. Finn rushed to the hospital, almost forgetting everything. When he looked through the glass door of the emergency room, seeing Steffi unconscious, bandaged all over, the life support machine screaming, his heart clenched. The doctor was even afraid that Steffi might have brain damage if she did not receive timely emergency care. Meanwhile, Hayes lay quietly on the hospital bed, hooked up to a ventilator and a tangle of tubes. If I hadn't kept that secret, if there weren't dangerous connections, maybe Steffi and Hayes wouldn't have had to leave in a hurry. Finn tormented himself with a series of if-onlys in his mind. Now, Finn understood that he couldn't escape the past. What he did had indirectly created a suffocating atmosphere, forcing Steffi to make the decision to leave. He never expected such a tragic accident to happen. The pain of seeing his beloved on the brink of death tore Finn's heart apart. He desperately prayed that as long as Steffi survived, he would be willing to take all responsibility. Finn still loved Steffi, this had never changed. But he also understood that it was too late to go back to the time before Steffi found that test. Moreover, the divorce papers could come at any time. The irony of the situation. On one hand, Finn wanted to prove his love, wanted Steffi to forgive him and overcome the storm together. On the other hand, his old mistake has become a wall that is too high, preventing them from getting back together. If Steffi wakes up and is still determined to leave him, Finn can only accept it because he has no right to stop her. Currently, everyone is betting on the power of medicine and the will to live of Steffi and baby Hayes. Will she wake up in a healthy state, or will she suffer severe consequences from the head injury? Will Hayes quickly escape from the coma so that Steffi does not have to bear the greatest pain of her life? And most of all, what will the future of Steffi and Finn's marriage be like after Steffi learns that he was the indirect reason that pushed her to decide to leave, leading to the tragic accident? If Steffi is out of danger and Hayes recovers, maybe Finn will devote all his energy to making amends, trying to regain Steffi's trust. But her emotional wound is huge, not to mention the secret about Luna and the connection with Steffi's aunt still hanging in the balance. For Steffi to forgive, he needs to prove his complete change and be willing to cut off all dangerous relationships. If Steffi suffers severe consequences, Hayes does not wake up soon, Finn will sink into despair. At that time, the question arises, is he strong enough to stand up, recover everything, or will he continue to make mistakes by letting Luna and other dark forces approach? The possibility of divorce is difficult to avoid. The divorce papers Steffi has prepared seem impossible to withdraw easily, especially when she is filled with fear and suspicion about Finn's past. If Steffi is determined, perhaps this marriage will end, leaving Finn alone, tormented by the consequences he caused. In short, the storm is not over yet. There are still many dramatic developments, important moves, decisive actions that can turn the situation around or make things worse. One thing is for sure, however, no matter what Steffi chooses, this accident marks an irreversible turning point in her life, as well as in her relationship with Finn. Let's wait and see what climaxes the bold and the beautiful will bring in the next episodes, when Steffi and Hayes are fighting between life and death, and Finn is burdened with the ultimate regret. Is love strong enough to heal, or has everything fallen apart? The answer will be revealed with countless dramatic twists ahead.